No matter what you feel about the company, they've made a good game. Here's an opening cinematic.
KWZ Drive Time, coming to you from the beautiful city. Coming up soon, we've got...
Hey Mark, what's your ETA?
I'm heading back now. Over.
Proceed to 26.133 degrees north, 3.628 degrees east.
Got it.
BAW-705, heavy, hold position. I'll get you moving in a minute.
BAW-705, heavy, holding November.
107, heavy, you're cleared to go. Opening north right, check. 107, heavy, you are cleared for departure.
277, check.
Anno 2205. I don't know why I needed that last shot. Doesn't really add anything. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Anno 2205. I've been wanting to make a video about this ever since it came out. We're going to talk about a lot of features today. Anno is a franchise that I fell in love with thanks to John Bain, also known as the Cynical Brit or Total Biscuit. I'm sure you've seen his videos. He is my idol in the YouTube sphere. And I wanted you to show a game that has been grossly underrated. I cannot find many English-speaking videos about this game. They're mostly German, because it's a German game. And it is a city builder that has an optimistic view of the future, particularly to do with the climate. If you've played Anno 2070, or any of the Anno series, you know what it's about. It's about trade, it's about resource management, it's about industry, city planning, and all kinds of stuff. And there is normally a campaign, but most of it's a sandbox. Now, I'm going to assume that you haven't played any of those titles, so this isn't a comparison video. I just want to show you what my fuss, really. there's no hubbub about this game, but you might have been seeing along the bottom. I've got so much content, some paid for, some free. I got this with the season pass, and it's just mental. It's just absolutely mental. So the objective of the game is to colonize the moon and generate fusion power on the moon's surface, and then send it back via interplanetary microwaves back to Earth. And if you wanted to start a new one, you would just click this button.
I'm glad you accepted my invitation. Samantha Beaumont, Global Union Supervisor of the Lunar Licensing Program. We have a lot to discuss. But first, I'd like to introduce you to your artificial data amalgamating messenger.
Lip sync isn't working.
Thank you for participating in the Lunar Licensing Program. The program stipulates that your corporation set up operative spaceports to act as bases for a new wave of lunar colonization. You will further assist Global Union in the development of a fusion energy reactor to avert Earth's impending energy crisis.
Gosh. That's the idea.
Officially, only megacorporations are allowed in the program, but I personally took a stand for you. You just have to sign in with your corporation name.
Let's go SF Focus. No, SF Spotlight. Because this is part of the new series of science fiction games across all kinds of genres.
Thanks, but I need to see your corporate logo as well, for identification
that's very
purposes.
Sci-fi, isn't it? Or maybe that one. That's normally my favourite. But we'll go to that one. You can unlock more by getting achievements in the game. Brotherhood of Nod there. Or the Global Association of Polar Bears. Because, of course, by the 23rd century, polar bears would have become sentient. But we'll go for that.
My superiors at the Global Union had reservations about you, but I've convinced them. They even decided to allocate you high-grade territory for new corporate headquarters.
Fantastic.
Choose a sector.
Amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these 6 starting sectors. By the end of the game, you can get all of them. But we're just going to spend a little bit of time showing you how the startup, okay, the very early game is, and then we're going to go into a save game I had that you saw at the beginning, which is a level 40 corporation. At least I think it is. And that's all to do with population. But what does population mean in Anno 2205?
Almost there. We just have to negotiate the terms of your contract with Global Union. Funding conditions, and the like.
So, here we go. Difficulty. Now, the difficulty system in this game is superb. Because you can pick one of the presets, or you can take a preset and tweak it. Advanced settings. So, I'll explain a few of these things. So, provided workforce. So, for each building, it's difficult. You'll see later, just bear with me. Bear with me. You'll see when you settle an island and build a bunch of houses and give them rice and things that they want, you'll get a portion of the population as workforce. Okay? So, on expert, that's medium. And it goes on. So emergency loans, revenue, sparse. So for each population point that you have, you get some credits, a regular income.
Don't want to be rude, but we have a tight schedule.
Yeah, so do I. So we can set that to change that from sparse to plenty. But have a look at this bar here. Lax emergency loans, lax conditions. Goods consumption, sparse. Now we're in advanced. Plenty, satisfaction impact, high impact, no impacts. Warehouse output, plenty. Relocate buildings, on, for free. Construction refund, full. Starting credits, plenty. Let's just make loads of these. Ooh. Let's make this the easiest game. The easiest game.
Don't want to be rude, but we have a tight schedule.
Okay. So, these are all the things that you can change, basically. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the predefined advanced preset. And we're going to launch.
You are now entering Phase 1 of the Lunar Licensing Program. The Global Union assigned you territory in Earth's temperate region to establish a spaceport and a base of operations. The construction of a space elevator to Global Union headquarters is also required. For further instructions, speak to your official contact person. Global Union wishes you success.
Thank you very much.
A true island paradise, don't you think? The
This
coastal
game
area here is
is
very rich in natural
beautiful.
resources. I wonder if that's the reason why a member of the Big Five is planning for an underwater research project. But for now, that's secondary. The protocol demands that you establish a spaceport in this area.
Spaceport. Spacey spaceport.
The spaceport building site off the coast is still unstaffed.
Ooh.
But as soon as you've built the
Residents.
necessary housing, your construction team will be moving in.
So, you can see that the Lunar Licensing Program, I think there are 30 chapters, so this is chapter 1. We need to do these things. Attract a population of workers, which is really easy. So, I'm going to use a hotkey, S for street, and it costs 25 credits. We've got 75,128, 9, etc. And that's because our warehouse, I don't know, just has money. It's collecting coins that people put in the sea, I guess. So we're going to build some big streets, big avenue there. And then we're going to measure 1 and 2.
Got work to do?
Hello! And then we are going to get some of that magic. So workers will start coming in. So now I need to build. So everything you see there is built out of biopolymers. So these are sturdy materials made of
New blueprints ready for
sunflower juice, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I try and keep the industrial zone separated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 of those and 2 of those, and then I'm going to connect them all up.
Great. Building material shortages shouldn't be an issue anymore.
But here now we have not enough people. That's the workforce I was telling you about, just down there. So maintenance costs 130 for these 4 factories. So we need to build some more people. And what I'm going to do now, so this needs to be 6 across. 1, 2, 3,
Attention.
4, 5.
Expansion
6.
of workforce recommended.
So I can do that. Oh, it didn't work. Ugh, foolish boy. See, on this relatively easy mode, so what I can do is I can just do this if I can afford it. Press plus. There we are. And now maybe they're.
Your construction crew is one of the
happiest.
first ready. Keep up the pace. Your competitors will
But
try
they're
to catch
PO'd
up.
because they've got no
For the
tap
next
water.
construction stage, you'll need qualified ground staff to operate the spaceport. Make sure to adhere to union standards while providing the required infrastructure.
Okay, so for some, we need either coastal or mountain building sites. So when you pick up, say, a coastal one,
Warning. Unfulfilled demand for specific
Indeed.
consumer products.
so that's going to add 5, but there's no road connection.
You need this desalination plant. These days, it's the only way to come by
That's
drinkable
depressing.
water.
Oh, goody. So I'll get some money.
Company stocks advance in price.
Stock market is an entirely different thing. So that's providing water. And everything works in a sector balance system. So we can have a look here. Obviously, we've just started. So normally it would go out to like here with various products, and we'll see that later. But a balanced economy has a lot of zeros in it. So we're overproducing biopolymers because we'd like to stockpile them. That enables us to build things quicker. We have a positive balance of water, so that means that we're storing it. So we've got 2 tons in storage up to 60. After that, the production is wasted. But with the corporation levels, you will have a local storage, and it's the same storage, 65, no, 60. That will go up by a certain amount every time you advance your corporation level, and that is always to do with population. So I imagine level 3 is going to be 200 or 250. So let's... So
right then.
There are 3 out of 5, and it's the same with everywhere, because they don't have... Oh, they have organic food.
Expect the management to show up. Please, come in.
Who's giving them organic food? And they just ran out of organic food. So now people are moving out. You can see that number up there. They're leaving because they're out of food. So we must have started with a little bit of a stockpile. So let's just put 1, 2. But now we're out of power. So now we need to put in some lovely stuff. Right, so we need 200 workers. And how much? We got 4. We got 4 more to play around with. So let's go in this direction. Need to make sure they're all connected to the road network. And we'll just speed the game up a little bit. Just holding the numpad plus key. Is that enough? Yes! New buildings.
Construction
Infodrome. And that's the first of the service buildings. So, fulfills the need for information. There's a similar concept from 2070. Anno 2070. And it's basically, it's I don't know, it's Facebook. It's Facebook of the future. And they can't live without it. So they need an infodrome. So at the moment we've got a deficit. Actually no, we don't have a deficit at the moment, but the placement is key. So if I'm going to turn this little corner here into like a mini town of workers, let's plan this out. So if I have another 2, but I'm going to leave a gap, you see. Why have I left a gap? Because, much like SimCity 2015, roads carry everything. So, you can see, if I just get rid of that, if I put it there, the information would have to travel, without that gap, all the way up to reach this house, all the way up there and there. Whereas, it can do that, well, actually, it has to just do that. If I made a gap in this one as well, then, you know, it's always a good idea. But here we go. Hopefully you're I really hope you're following. Infodrome, Facebook.
A broad range of information services. This will enable your employees to develop their interests as well as their skills.
Right, so now, hopefully, assuming everyone's happy, yes.
So, right then.
Now, we can promote them into operators, which is the next level up. So, let's see, I can promote all the ones near the infodrome.
Operators at your service.
Super.
Remarkable progress. You've assembled construction crews and ground personnel faster than I was expecting. You are more than ready for the first major hurdle.
And yes.
The program demands you connect your city with the Global Union space station via a space elevator. So far, only megacorps like the Big Five use such technology. But I'm sure you have the same potential.
Okay. Well, let's upgrade as many as we can.
Construction of new buildings.
Because it costs biopolymers. Let's see if we can visit a local merchant. There's one in every sector.
This day is getting better by the minute.
I'm going to buy 20 of that.
Come on in.
I
No
just want to
one
buy
beats
everything.
Nick's deals.
I just want to buy everything. Because it just is easier. Press U. And drag. More operators.
Consumer analyses show unfulfilled demand.
Because
for specific
operators
commodities.
need more stuff. And also now we've got serious shortages. Because you can see now...
You? Here?
7 out of 25.
I'm sorry. I'm just a little nervous.
Oh, 8. And that's the workforce provided. So a few of them just sit at home. I don't get that. They should all be bloody working. I just built their house by clicking. So let's try and build some more farms here. Okay. Alright, we've got a surplus. At a later stage in the game, you can add modular buildings to any factory. This is only in the very early game. And that costs, you know, sci-fi ingredients. Well, not sci-fi, real ingredients such as graphene, and iridium, and magnetite, and things like that. But that's getting on quite later. And you're probably thinking, God, this game is so complicated. And it is, but it's easy to pick up. It's easy to learn, and you can build some truly astonishing things. We've got a new tidal power station. We need constructor bots. Okay. Now, we also need to start producing vitamin drinks. So that comes under operators. Let's just wall this bit off. Vitamin drinks 12. And so we'll need 2 of these. But first we need to make constructor bots. So that means we need a feldspar quarry and a cobalt mine. There's your feldspar. And we'll just connect it to the main network. Have a look at the number with the little truck in the bottom section of the screen. And I will release this. You see it's gone down. And also now we don't have enough power. And we still have all sorted. So -1? Seriously? We're out of power. Alright, let's start building some cool stuff. Efficiency 90... No, 100%. So there we go. That's fine. We've now got 0 energy. Let's pop another one there. Super. Okay. So we've got that. This is logistics. So all the logistics is in the warehouse at the moment. We've got 5 left. And it's on each island. It's island specific. Some islands you connect with bridges, such as this one, to that one, to that one. But then you've got separate islands, such as this one and this one. So what I'm going to do is... We've already got a feldspar quarry. We're going to build one there. And then we can build and now we've got a logistics problem. So you build a temporary depot. And you can see, if I put it away from... If I put it there, it will generate 11. Because there are no production facilities nearby. If I put it there, it will generate 21. If I put it over here, it will generate 28.
Good. You've gathered the components needed for the elevator. Only the elevator cable requires special materials you can't produce. But I arranged for a delivery.
Warning. Energy demand can no longer
thank you
be
for
met.
reminding me. That guy's quite annoying. I do wish you could turn him off. And I'm sure you can. Let's see. Can I... Have I got any spare... Yes. Ah, I need to start actually building constructor bots.
Warning. Human resources insufficient.
Minus 17. Minus 2. Ah, because we don't have enough people. We don't have enough power either. So, but I need them constructor bots. There we are. Super. Now, let's pop. I need more constructors. Okay, and now we'll need fruit. All of this is due to a problem of workforce. So we'll now need 32 fruits to mush up in the vitamin condensers. These are ones that we just built. Well, I'm going to turn off day-night cycle. Where do we do that? Camera modes. Day-night. I want daytime. Marvellous. Now I can see everything. Yeah, it's got a full day-night cycle. It's fabulous. Okay, so we need 125 more workers. What I'm hoping is that when we satisfy the needs...
A clever move, seeing to your staff's good health. Benefits like that make you a more attractive employer.
223, 210, see, because they are coming in. Population's going up. Particularly operators. And we've now got +2. So let's expand. Oh, that's a shame we can't build there. But we can do this. You can do a bit of this. And a little bit of this. And eventually, like these little awkward bits here. I mean, you could just do this.
Pile of paper.
Or something like that. And then pop another house in there. And things like that. You'll need to put another road around here. But you can put little flower gardens there later on. Everybody's happy. So now we've got 53. Let's upgrade some people. Let's try and fix our workforce. And
new level of success reached.
8, 5, 1. Workforce is solved. So at the moment, we can sustain this population indefinitely. But we can also expand it because we're overproducing vitamin drinks. So water's the closest. So let's just keep growing until we run out of water. So let's just do that for now. So let's say we're going to expand this direction. Okay. And that's gone to 0, but if I do this, it's still 0. And everything is 0. So that's fantastic. Are we going to achieve 1,000? Are we going to achieve 1,000? Oh, come on.
Yeah, is there some...
Good.
Your technicians are ready.
But now...
Start the elevator construction once all other requirements are met.
Let's dodge the balance.
My associate, John Rafferty, is already heading here with the special material
and now
deliveries.
We've got logistics shortage. We'll put one there. That'll generate 38. We need more of these. This is very hasty planning. But there we are. And we need more water. And we need more fruit. So let's do something like this. I would never normally do this. I'm keeping an eye on the time for you busy people out there. So this is basically the principle. So then we will go to the Arctic for rejuvenators. No, we build them in the temperate region. Neuroimplants, we build them in the Arctic. You'll see that in a second. And security as well. That's their need building. So what we do is we would select the spaceport. Oh dear.
Yeah, Rafferty here. Miss Bowman assigned me to ensure the transport
blah, 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 blah.
All right, no time to study regulations. Meet
so
Rafferty at the coordinate.
There is a military. We might cover that in another video, might not. If you do want to see the military in 2205, let me know. Excuse me. But otherwise, it's not really... It's not great. It's not great. But we're going to quit out of that now.
Did you want to bring something to our attention?
Let's go into one I made earlier. Okay, let's pause. So you can... Actually, no, let's not pause. Let's just slow it down a bit. So now you can see that we are in 3 sectors and a space station. Let's have a look at what reaching level 40 means. We're going to have a look at Walbrook Basin. This is the one we were previously. But, actually, if I click on it...
Good to see you. So, what's on your mind?
So, there's a share market now. You don't have to unlock it. But if you do, you get this screen. So you get your own shares. You can buy shares from your competitors. You can try and steal their money.
Insider arrested for industry sabotage.
Oh dear.
Security flaw detected. Infected unauthorized employee. PDA.
So that's good. So we've got some stuff. We can also start an auction, but I don't have enough capital to be able to fend off my rivals at the moment. So let's visit the great cities of Walbrook Basin. And you can see how some of the production chains we've got, and that's what all of the orange lines are. These are transfer routes to the moon and back, including energy. Because now we've completed the lunar licensing program. We will have a look at the moon. But let's have a look here. Whoa. Zoom out. And just take an aerial view. Actually, I wonder what these do. Let's just do this. This is what I've constructed. Hydro dams. Massive factories. A microwave energy spaceport. And the like. One of the great...
Warning.
When you can build and build. I'm low on androids. But you can go into postcard mode. I think this was in every Anno game. And you can just sort of go up and look upon your creation. So there are 4 levels of employee. You've got workers down here. You've got executives in these little ones. And you've got investors in these obsidian mega towers. And you can create little highways. Like, this is a rocket launch facility to take astronauts up to the space station. Are we going to be able to see a launch?
This season's
You can see them loading up cargo. Next resupply flights. 25,000.
Preparations underway.
Let's do it now. So that's going to go up to the space station. And you can have multiple ones across the sector. So there's one there. There's one on the other island over there. Sorry for poor frame rates. it's a lot to render at once. But yeah. And this is only half of it. I'm planning to expand this city all the way over into where the production for this city used to be, which is all over here. You can see some remnants. Some mining. I think this is mining diamonds. It's lovely. And it's got... Most buildings have your corporate logo on them somewhere. This one doesn't. That's disappointing. Your warehouse is definitely. Coral. Oh no, algae for rejuvenators that we saw earlier. We've got one little lonely vitamin condenser there for the farms. Let's have a look at the farms, and yes, you can build bridges and people go between them. And this island here, across this bridge, this is the factory zone. These are construction robots. You can see them being assembled. These are sunflower farms to give us bioresin, sunflower juice. And then we've got some more there. These are the biopolymer factories now. So you can see they're not all individual factories. The main factories are here at the front. And they start with these little six here. But then you can add on more ones using graphene. Using iridium, you can have these drone networks that operate with minimal staff. So if you've got a workforce shortage, then it's no problem, because you could just have drones run the facility, a self-automated production facility. If you want to save power, install some batteries, some capacitors to save energy. And with proper... Oh, frame rate is ridiculous now. I'm running this on a 1060. I think it's the memory. I've only got 3 gig, but yeah. This is top graphics of all of those fruit farms that make vitamin drinks. And we can see here, we've got the main buildings, and then all the ones
Further
you can add on with graphene.
and research possible.
Thank you. Oh, let's talk about research, actually. What's that guy doing? I think he's making something very cool. What's he doing? Ah, he's making multispectral prisms to make replicators from Star Trek. Amazing. Remember the rice farms? Now we got the rice farms. So we've got in the temperate region over 100,000. Over 100,000 people living here. We've got over 5,000, over 6,000 actually, living on the moon. And over 10,000 living in the Arctic. So let's have a look at the Arctic, which is also beautiful because part of this game is multi-session gameplay. So I need, for example, let's have a look. Routes overview from Walbrook Basin. 76 to Akia flows. you can see Akia Flows needs it because they are in the cold. So we produce it down here, and then we send a large icebreaker.
Updating transfer options.
And we do that. IntelliWare to the moon. Let's give them +1. That's going to cost us 1,500 a minute.
Reviewing transfer route.
Oh dear, we're going to need to do that as well. That's
renewing
there.
Parameters.
So, the multi-session gameplay, you could perhaps have one entire sector that is, there's hardly anyone living there. It's just the breadbasket for everywhere else. A whole sector full of farms, for example. But let's go to Akia Flows, which is an Arctic sector.
Acceptable.
Ah, share auction. Let's bid. Let's see if we can get...
I wish we could help you, but as things are, sorry.
Never guessed you'd be so conservative. Come on, make your voice count.
I'm going to click this button that whoever wins gets a cut of the final balance.
The request has been
exactly.
approved.
Yeah, so that just makes it as much as possible. Promotion mode. No, I don't need promotion mode. So yes, welcome to the Arctic. So in the Arctic, you can only build houses near heat sources, such as these plasma smelters.
Summer's here.
And people can live there. Right next to it. It's a bit noisy, but it's there. The skies are clear. The crevasse there. And it's got its own production chain. These ones are making stimulants in pill form. To keep people, you know, alert in this potentially hazardous environment, where the sun perhaps never sets in the Arctic summer. And these gas chambers that burn methane that we get from the sea and turn it into energy, and they produce huge amounts of warmth and energy as well, so that we can get all of these people nicely warmed and productive. And this is how you get 10,000 people living in a permanent settlement in the Arctic. And before we sign off,
pleased to see this resolved.
Transfer route inefficient.
Yeah.
Cause missing goods.
Indeed. So let's leave the Arctic and head to the moon. So you can see here in the corner, each sector has a sector project. You can see that it's 200 workforce in this case. Maintain a production surplus of logistic in Novikov crater. It's not a high priority for me at the moment. My highest priority is to get more employees so I can get more. I want to get up to level 50. But let's have a look at the moon. Welcome to a fully functional moon research and production facility. They're all in craters, and I'm hoping to catch an asteroid impact. Come on. Mining aluminium there. These are our employees. Another rocket to go up to the space station overhead. Drilling moon ice. Oh. Ah, yes. A meteor shower.
Consumer analyses show unfulfilled demand for specific commodities.
They want androids. Well, yeah, send androids to work on the moon.
Splendid.
Officers want androids.
All right.
It's just something to behold. So many of the production chains, including, of course, power, which provides a lot of energy. 17,600, I'm going to assume, gigawatts. Maybe it's megawatts.
Changes like that are always welcome.
And I get some more money. Huge amounts of power, which I can then transmit to the city. So all those tidal power plants, they're gone. And I can just focus on making my people productive, completing the sector projects. If I wanted to, I could dominate the stock market. I could try and steal some more money. Let's try and do that again.
Your competitor's outdated antivirus software has been exploited.
Love it. 25%, because they are alert. Cassian are off guard. Let's hire another insider there. Influence is what you do with the stock market, and it costs everything to do with the stock market. Calling an auction, it is influence. If you control everything in your own corporation, if you control every share, you get massive benefits to your influence collection rate. And with the other competitors, it's about electronics, heavy industry, biotechnology, energy, and agriculture, giving you unique modules to put on your buildings. So if we go back into the moon, let's click this one here, and we can actually choose. So let's go heavy industry, and that's Cassian Industries. We got titanium mine. So we've got modules like this, drone racks, and blah blah blah. Ooh. Interesting. There's always something new to discover. It's amazing. So, workforce maintenance. If you were the industry leader, then you would have a much better module for that. Same with energy and logistics. But I think after I finish this video, I'm going to be going on with the second with Dr. Esther Nyland's sector project in the Tundra. But yes, it's not necessarily a brief overview, but it is an overview for a very complex, very, very absorbing game where you can just build and design and create and synergize to your heart's content. And the amount of content, I'll leave you just looking at the interstellar station here. Which is just fantastic.
Space shuttle docking.
And you've got a technology nexus.
I have to say, you need me for a status report.
You came to crush the revolution.
Oh,
but
good.
Now the tables are turned.
Right. So
transfer route suffers.
All right, we're gonna keep this in. We're gonna keep this in the video because it gives me a great opportunity. Because as you can see, we are losing staff quickly because
fleet ordered to location.
The orbital watch is blockading my spaceport. So we need to wait for the Navy to arrive.
Warning. Facilities require additional manpower.
Yes, I know they do. 3,000 of them. This one's
fleet.
Quite...
So that won't be causing us any problems then.
The fleet's arrived. There they are. Let's go kick some ass.
Inefficient. Cause missing goods.
Right, so basically, as your corporation level increases, your military does as well. You don't design the ships, they're all standard. You can pay money to upgrade them once you reach a certain level of experience. But here we go. Let's attack!
Enemy detected.
And I'm doing all of this. I don't want to lose any.
Repair drones launch. Attention, energy shields active.
So you can see you've got a lot of different power-ups.
Full speed ahead.
Repair drones launch.
And we just basically need to destroy as many ships as possible. We need to destroy 51 ships.
Underway. Open fire.
And of course, most of the time, your ships are OP compared to theirs, but there's a lot more of theirs than there are.
Repair drones launch.
So sometimes you can split your ship, but I prefer to just have it as one unstoppable crushing force.
Full speed ahead.
Transfer route suffers from inadequate low project load. Energy shields active. Repair drones launch.
Right, let's get a support fleet in. That is just going to heal us.
Energy shields active.
Open fire.
That will do fine.
Kill them all! Right, next big one is going to be
Copy
here.
that.
Actually, we're going to close in on these guys as well. So let's blow them out of the water. Let's get some
battle
more money.
stations.
That can only be beneficial for us.
Transfer route suffers from inadequate supply of goods.
We are taking a lot of monetary hits. Hopefully going to slam into these guys.
On our way.
Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all.
Affirmative. Underway.
Attention. Under provision.
Let's pause it for a second.
Attention.
Well, not pause it.
Under provision of specific consumer goods detected.
This is the problem. That. Okay, neuroimplants.
Transfer route suffers from inadequate supply of goods.
Oh, it just does a general satisfaction reduction. Oh.
The ship was nothing but the crew. But then.
And now they're leaving, and now you will see a dramatic
repair drones launch.
Underway.
Recovery. And here they come back in. So that's the military. There are also military crisis sectors as well, which are specific missions. We won't cover one of them today. But hopefully, my dear viewer, this has given you a good overview of what Anno 2205 is all about. It's impossible to do it in under an hour. I'm not even sure if this video will be under an hour. It probably will be over it. But this is what it's all about. Multi-session gameplay across multiple Arctic, lunar, and terrestrial, temperate sectors, and the tundra, which is a mystery to me. So let's go and check that out. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sci-Fi Spotlight. Not sure what we'll do next, but hopefully it will be fascinating and fantastic at the same time. I've been Nova Kane. If you liked the video, please subscribe and give us a like and share if any of your buddies might be interested in a channel like mine. And thank you for letting me know about the shuttle. That's very useful. So, Anno 2205. I love it. I don't think it's a game for everyone. But if you... I'm pausing this now. But if you like city builders that absorb you, and there's always something to do, something to tweak, something to redesign, something to anything, you know, so City Skylines, for example, or perhaps Factorio, or another Anno game, might be something for you to consider. Also, the show does have a Patreon page. If you like the video and you have the means to give us a couple of quid each month, it really does help us to keep going. And we are trying to have a big resurgence on the channel. So, with that, cap in hand, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, leave a comment and tell me why, and it helps us all get better. But this is Nova Kane signing off from above the orbit of the Earth, which now looks like it's launching missiles at the moon. But that's a story for another time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.